All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's dive into something that, well, let's be honest, most people probably find about as fun as a root canal. Life insurance.
Yeah, not exactly the most exhilarating topic, is it?
No, not really. It can feel like you're drowning in paperwork, jargon, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. But that's why this deep dive is so fascinating.
You got that right. So we're zeroing in on Hettler Insurance Agency in Lubbock, Texas, specifically their instant quote and apply online tool at GetLifePolicyCom.
What's really interesting here is how Hettler seems to have cracked the code, especially with that tool.
Right, over 30 years in the business, a real Lubbock Texas staple, and they've managed to simplify things in a way that's like, why didn't I think of that?
They really have.
And the thing is, they're not just life insurance. Annuities, disability income insurance, they do it all. But it's their passion for making life insurance easy that really stood out to us.
Totally. Their motto actually sums it up perfectly. Don't do insurance alone.
Love that. Says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. Because honestly, these decisions, they're huge. Having someone there to guide you, it makes all the difference.
It's like having a co-pilot for one of life's biggest journeys.
Exactly.
And this is where their instant quote and apply tool comes in. So picture this. You're finally relaxing after a long day, and bam, it hits you life insurance.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right. But instead of that familiar wave of dread, you just hop on Hettler's website. Boom, instant quotes.
We're talking 30 plus different insurance carriers, all right there.
What's brilliant is how it puts the power back in your hands. You know, you're not stuck with limited options, no pressure. You can compare, find what fits your needs and your budget, all in your own time.
It's like having a personal insurance shopper, but without the person.
Exactly.
And speaking of making things easy, say goodbye to fax machines and mountains of paperwork, because with Hettler, you apply online, sign electronically with DocuSign, the whole shebang. And get this, they even have options with or without a medical exam. I love that they cater to different comfort levels. Not everyone's comfortable with the whole medical exam thing, so having that flexibility is huge.
It's all about options, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got convenience down pat. But I think a lot of people might be wondering, okay, but is it really that simple?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And
right.
To be honest, it's a valid concern.
Right, because we're talking about serious stuff here. This isn't ordering takeout. It's life insurance.
You got it. So how do they back up that ease of use with, actual human expertise?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because while technology's great and all, some things you just need to talk through with a real person.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's something that Hettler really seems to understand.
They do, and that's what we're going to dig into when we come back. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after a quick break. All right, so we're back and diving headfirst into what makes Hettler's approach so unique.
Right, because they've really managed to strike that balance. Technology for speed and convenience, but with the human touch still there.
It's not just about being able to get a quote in 5 minutes on your phone.
Exactly. It's about transparency, building that trust. Because let's be real, some things just need that human touch, especially when it's something as important as, life insurance.
You're not wrong. It can feel like a huge weight on your shoulders sometimes.
Right. So think of it this way. The online tool, that's like your starting point. You get your information, you see your options, you compare. But then if you're like, okay, I need a little more guidance here, boom, you reach out to Hettler directly.
You've got a team of experts ready to answer questions. That's got to be reassuring, especially in an industry that doesn't always have the best reputation for being, easy to understand.
And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest hurdles they've overcome. They're not hiding behind the technology. They're using it as a tool to actually enhance that personal connection.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But let's, for a second, take a step back.
Yeah.
Why does someone even need life insurance? I get it. It's important, but can we break it down a bit?
It's funny you should say that because it's often something people put off thinking about until, they really need to think about it.
Because no one likes to dwell on the what ifs.
Right, exactly. But that's just it. It's about the what ifs. See, life insurance, it's not really about you. It's about the people you love.
It's about making sure they're taken care of even when you're not there.
Exactly. It's about protecting their financial well-being. Let's say you're the primary breadwinner. Life insurance can help replace your income, make sure your loved ones can maintain their standard of living. Or let's say you have a mortgage. It can help cover that debt, prevent your family from losing their home.
Wow, that's a powerful way to put it. It's about peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happens, your family will be okay.
Precisely. And it's not just about the big things like mortgages either. It can be about making sure your kids can still go to college, or even just helping your family cope with the loss of your income.
You're right. It's about all those what-ifs that we tend to push to the back of our minds.
Because, let's be honest, no one wants to think about those things.
No, not really. But when you frame it like that, it suddenly doesn't seem so much about paperwork and numbers anymore. It's about protecting the people you love.
It really is. And that's where I think Hettler truly excels. They get that it's not just about selling a policy. It's about providing that sense of security and peace of mind.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the why behind it all, which makes the how a whole lot easier to handle.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And speaking of making things easier, let's bring it back to Hettler and how they're simplifying the entire life insurance process.
It's really refreshing to see a company that's not afraid to embrace technology, but also recognizes when a good old-fashioned conversation is what's needed.
Right. They've really managed to make it, dare I say, enjoyable.
Well, maybe not enjoyable, but definitely less daunting.
Okay, fair enough. Less daunting.
So for our listeners out there who might be tuning in for the first time, we've been talking about Hettler Insurance Agency, a company with deep roots in Lubbock, Texas, and a track record of demystifying insurance.
And their instant quote and apply tool, it's a game changer. Instant quotes from all those different carriers, apply online, even sign electronically. They've really streamlined the whole experience.
Seriously, it's like they took everything we hate about dealing with insurance and just threw it out the window. No more fax machines, no more waiting weeks for a response. It's amazing.
It's about time, right?
Right. And on top of all that, they still offer that personal touch. You can pick up the phone, call 806-798-7800 and talk to a real person if you need to, which I think a lot of people will find really reassuring.
It's that combination of convenience and personalized service that really sets them apart, I think. They're meeting people where they are, whether they're tech savvy or prefer a more hands-on approach.
Exactly. It's all about options and giving people the information they need to make informed decisions.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about pushing a product. It's about helping people protect the things that matter most to them, their families, their futures.
Well said. So deep divers, whether you're just starting a family, building your career, or just thinking about what the future holds, remember that life insurance doesn't have to be a scary, complicated thing.
Hettler Insurance Agency is living proof that it can be straightforward, transparent, and even, dare I say, empowering.
You know what? I think empowering is the perfect word for it, because knowing you've taken steps to protect the people you love, that's a powerful feeling. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up.
Until next time, deep divers, stay curious.
And remember, the best way to tackle life's big questions is to dive right in.